catapults you to a world title shot?
I'm just excited to have a fight at the beginning of this year, really. I was out all last year because of family issues, so I was happy that Bellator was able to get me started off, with a bang for the beginning of the year. If it catapults me to a title shot, cool. If it doesn't, it is what it is. I just want to fight, I don't exactly know if it will put me in line for a title shot. I mean, we'll see.
You talk about the opportunity to just kind of come back from, bounce back from a loss your last time out, and sort of what mentality that gives you in a fight camp leading into this?
Excuse me?
Can you talk about, what you need to do in a fight camp coming into this when you have to bounce back and know you need to get a win? Does that change anything in your camp?
Not immensely. I'm training as as much as I can, and I'm always in the gym now that things have settled in my family life, and I have a lot more freedom to focus on what I've got to do, and that's a big catalyst as to why I wasn't here last year. But now that a lot of things have changed and I've set my feet back, on the right path, training goes back full bore. We always look into the opponents that I have in front of me, as well as things that I need to work on, and just constant improvements, constant, educating myself to be a better fighter. So, in the end, it just, it makes my camp stronger. It makes my fight camps more direct. And it's just about whoever they put in front of me. We research who they are. We take note of their tendencies, and obviously, people train to fix their tendencies and to gain more knowledge, same as myself. So it just, it's just another camp that's designed the way we do it. We train hard and we look into the people we're going to go up against.
When you looked at her, what are some of the kind of the attributes that you saw that she brings to the table? I know you guys have a couple similar opponents from past fights. Did you look at those past fights of hers that were similar to the fights that you had?
Yes and no, I guess. We both hold a knockout, of course, same exact amount of time over Marina Shafir, and we're obviously both very heavy hitters. We're both very aggressive fighters, and people know that. We stylistically, aggressively, we are very much the same. And just the people that we've both gone up against, I guess, I don't know how to answer that question exactly, but she, stylistically, we're both just aggressive fighters. We go out there and we want to do well, and we want to learn from our past mistakes of any kind, and just put on a good fight and win. So, yeah.
Does that make you want to adjust? If your styles are similar, does anything about that make you want to adjust? Maybe not be as aggressive, or try to bait them into a mistake?
I have been learning overall, not just through her, but just through any fight that I've had, to not be in such a rush to finish it. It's kind of been something that I've worked on through several camps and other fighters, and I feel like I'm growing a lot more just in the past several years. So, it's, you learn your own bad habits and you learn your own tendencies, and you work on those fight to fight. So fighting her hasn't made me think more about, I need to do this, I need to do that. I've been working on it even prior to this fight with her. So I've grown as a fighter. She's grown as a fighter. It's been a little while since we've both been in, so I'm expecting new things from her, as well as you can expect hopefully new things from myself. So it's just about getting in there and drilling and training and sparring and working out those kinks.
Amanda, how tough is it sometimes balancing everything in your life? As you said, you had some family you should take care of. I'm guessing you work a full-time job, you train on top of this. How do you balance it so that you don't come to either hate one or the other, whether it's family, whether it's fighting, because you just feel stretched out in too many different places?
Well, I couldn't balance it. That's why I wasn't here last year. My mom had heart surgery, and other family things that I had to focus on that drained me financially. So I went back to work for it full-time. I'm a fabricator, I'm a welder. So I went back and did that for a little while so I could get myself financially stabilized. And then when I was realizing I wasn't as happy without my training and without my focus, I actually stepped away from that job with the blessing of my partner at the time. And I still found myself being in the gym and training and lot of wrestling actually. I was at the high school a lot with the coaches there, and then this year actually I spent this wrestling season as an assistant coach because Oregon just sanctioned wrestling for females, so they brought me in kind of to help inspire young girls to get on the mats and to be wrestlers. So yeah, again, I stepped away from my job and I found myself out in Vegas for a few weeks. Roxanne Modafferi is a really good friend of mine, so I go to Syndicate and get some side work in there, and I was helping her with her fight that she had at the time. So, I did have to balance things out. Working a full-time job and trying to do this is just not in the cards. It's one or the other at this point. So, and I guess for me, I'm kind of finding that balance. And even as of right now, I've had some major changes in my personal life that have found me a little displaced. So currently, I'm looking for a new home. As of right now. So there's a lot going on, but the stress and the situation that I've been finding myself in is actually, my coach has always said that I'm the type that when things start to really get rough for me, I kind of bite down and I work harder to, just the more of a grind I go through, the better I perform. The more emotional turmoil I have to face, usually the better off I am. It depends on really the situation. Last year was just, they required my attention to be more in other areas than this, so you have to pick and choose. But what I'm going through as of right now has made me focus and want this a lot more than I've had before, and I feel like my direction is a lot better these days.
Let me ask one follow-up question. I'll then take over. Why do you love fighting so much, man? I mean, as you said, you've had a job which is steady. This doesn't pay well. You get put through the ringer physically. This is a sport where people get seriously hurt, and yet talking to you, that seems to be like the happy place, the training, the sparring, the working out. What is it about the sport that it's almost like a lifestyle more than just a career?
I think for me, I wasn't given the gift of competition as a kid. I didn't get to be an athlete and I didn't get to be an athlete and compete and do all these things I wanted to do when I was younger. So now that the opportunity was placed in front of me, I took it and I ran with it. And I never thought women could go pro. So right now, the platform that I came to was completely unexpected, really. But for me, it's kind of come full circle where it's only so many people have this available to them. Only so many people are willing to do it and go as far as I've had. And I'm somewhere where a lot of people would love to be. So I have to appreciate that and take it seriously. And it's just like any other job. You can be working a 9 to 5 and loving it and hating it at the same time. And we're here training and having to go through the ringer of things we have to do, media weigh-ins, like you said, potential of this and that. And there's a love and there's a hate to it. It's you have your moments of glory and it feels great, and then you have your moments of dread.
Oh, yeah.
So I look at it as just anything else in life. You go through your obstacles and you have your experiences, and it's a story to tell when you get older.
Amanda, you mentioned that you've been in the gym, you've been in the wrestling room. It's not the same as fighting. You haven't fought in 18 months. Any worry about ring rust?
No, actually, I feel more focused and less nervous than I ever had before. I don't know if I'm growing as a person or if the catalyst of where my life is at right now has given me the strength to focus, but I feel good, and as well as last year they were trying to get this fight paired up before, actually, so I knew coming back who my opponent was going to be almost a year ago, around this exact time, actually, so I'm not too worried about ring rust. I don't know what it is. I can't really explain it, but I'm not, considering the changes in my life and the pain that I've recently gone through, there's just really nothing that can stress me out more than what I've had to endure.
The champion, Julia Budd, she has kind of faced a lot of people in the division. You and your opponent, she hasn't faced yet. I mean, I know you said you're not even thinking about a title fight, but does this feel like a title eliminator match?
I really don't know. I guess it is. I kind of feel like there might be another fight in my path before that could happen. But who knows? I really don't know. I'm not trying to skip ahead and lose my focus. I'm right here. This is where I'm at. this is what's going to happen. We'll find out when the fight's over.
Good.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, good luck. Thank you.